So good morning to one and all. And here I can see more than 60 participants for the program. So who have enthusiastically registered for this faculty development program on RF energy harvesting antennas for wireless body area networks, design, development, and challenges. So first of all, I would like to thank Is it visible? Just a small disturbance.
Yes,
It's visible, madam.
Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank all the team members of AICT Atal for sponsoring this one-week faculty development program to our department. And I want to congratulate the coordinators, Dr. Purnamake Sharma and Asini, assistant professor of our same department. So now let us go to our topic. So today's my topic is flexible wearable devices for wireless body area networks, techniques and challenges. See here, the wearable devices, flexible wearable devices and wireless body area networks are the most emerging and most demandable fields in the field of research nowadays, because there is an experimental growth, there is a great demand for both wearable antennas or devices and wireless body area networks also, particularly in the medical field. Of course, the wearable antennas and wireless body area networks are the two different fields, but still they are most interdependent. The W-band is almost interdependent on wearable devices, and the wearable devices, wearable antennas applications are in the field of only W-band. Okay, so that's why today's my topic is flexible wearable devices for W-band. Techniques and various techniques and challenges are going to be discussed. So now let us move on to the. So this is my outline of the topic. The entire session is divided into two subtopics. So first of all, let us discuss on the W-band wireless body area networks. In that, what are the various devices and what is its architecture? What are the different protocols used in the W-band? Because this is the wireless. Okay, so that's why different protocols are to be used to achieve the wireless connectivity. And what are the characteristics, basic desirable characteristics of W-band, and what are the available types in the W-band, and particularly what are their applications, whether it is the medical applications or non-medical applications, whatever it may be, and effect of energy on the body, because this wireless body area networks is mainly mainly utilized on the human body. So definitely there is a effect of the energy on the human body. So what are the different hazards, may be caused due to this application of this W-band, and what are the various limitations, challenges, and WSN versus W-band. That means wireless sensor networks. So till now we heard and we studied about the WSN, wireless sensor networks. So now our topic is W-band, so wireless body area network. So how far it is relevant to the WSN, and what are the differences and comparison between the WSN and W-band. So in that way we will discuss on today. Similarly, the second major topic, subtopic is wearable technology. So what are the different wearable devices, antennas are available or applicable to this W-band, and what are their applications, and what are the different materials with what these antennas can be fabricated, and how the material selection is to be done, and how this material selection can affect the antenna performance. Okay, so in this way, and what are the different fabrication methods? Because these wearable antennas are somewhat the fabrication of these wearable antennas are somewhat different from the fabrication of conventional antennas. So that's why what are the different fabrication methods? And reconfigurability. Reconfigurability means the same antenna is to be operated at different frequencies to minimize the complexity. So that's why how the reconfigurability can be achieved. And similarly, miniaturization. Miniaturization means reducing the antenna size, because these wearable antennas are particularly used in the body communication, wireless body area network. So that may be either implanted or on body or off body, but however, the antenna size should be minimized. So further, what are the different miniaturization techniques available and we have to be followed in the antenna design. And similarly, bending effects. Not only bending effects, there are so many effects which affect the antenna performance, because once the antenna is wearable by the user, definitely it may be bended, it may be crumpled, it may be twisted likewise. So when that antenna is subjected to those twisting, bending, crumpling, so what are the various effects on the antenna performance? So in that way, now effect of body on antennas. In the first subtopic, effect of energy on body, and in the second subtopic, effect of body on antennas. And similarly, there may be some limitations and challenges. So how can we overcome those challenges? And finally, I want to conclude with the summary. Okay, so this is my outline of this today's topic. Is it clear? My voice is clear?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So our first topic is the W-band. That means wireless body area network. First of all, let me give the brief definition of wireless body area network. So this W-band is a short range of wireless network of wearable computing devices. The W-band devices may be embedded inside the body or on the surface of the body in a fixed positions. Or simply, the W-band can be described as an extension of the wide area network to the personal space. W-band is also termed as wireless body sensor networks, WBSN, and it is also termed as wireless medical body area network. Why particularly medical means 80% of the W-band applications are mostly suitable in the biomedical applications. So that's why almost this W-band is called as the wireless medical body area network. This network, wireless sensor network, is embedded around the human body. Basically, in the 2001, this W-band is initially first introduced by the Professor Vandam, and it is basically consisting of certain sensor nodes. What is the main purpose of this W-band? To monitor the functionality of the human body, to monitor, to observe, to test the functionality of various organs of the human body, like heart rate. It can measure the heart rate, it can measure the blood pressure, brain signals of the humans. So majority of the applications is in the medical sector only. So that's why The W-band is simply, it is a special purpose of sensor network to monitor one or more medical conditions. Now, I will tell you some of the practical examples of W-band. We can see every day around us because of these advancements in MEMS technology, microelectronic mechanical systems, and wireless communication technology. This W-band is in great technical boom. It is more common to see the people wearing smartwatches. Nowadays, we used to see so many persons are wearing smartwatches or stiffness belts or fitness bands. Those are connected to the antennas via the Bluetooth. The applications are very numerous. The applications, W-band applications are very numerous, ranging from healthcare to telemedicine. So not only to the fitness bands, in the sports training also these W-band applications are, we can see the W-band applications. Another example is in medical care, that is used in continuously monitoring the ECG, or it is also being used to measure the blood pressure, as I already told you. So the BP, heart rate, and these brain signals, okay, EEG. So these can be measured through the W-band. And similarly, in the sports sector also, for the athletes, this W-band is used to observe their fitness, athletes, sportsman fitness, wrist pains, how many calories burned, and what is the chest strap, and continuously it keeps the track on what is the speed and how many steps they are taking in a daily day, in a day. Okay, so what is the distance of the feet? So likewise, in almost all applications, so this W-band is, we can see the role of the W-band. Now, what are the most technologies used for this W-band? The most common technologies used for this W-band are mainly Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Bluetooth, and IEEE 802.15.6. These are the different protocols, these are the different technologies to use in the W-band to achieve the wireless connectivity. So now, okay. Now what are the main parts in this W-band? There are three major parts in this W-band design. There are three types of devices, such as medical sensors, PDA, personal digital assistant, and base station. First of all, medical sensors. What is the role of these medical sensors? These medical sensors are very small electronic devices which are used to sense or to monitor the human body function. PDA, personal digital assistant. It can be a smartphone, it can be a laptop, or it can be a tablet, which can collect or receive the data from all these sensors. First of all, the sensors are placed on the human body, and these sensors detects the human organs functions. And now this smartphone or laptop or tablet, PDA, they are used to collect the data from the sensors. And finally, the base station. The base station, it is mainly used to connect the W-band to the internet because it is basically a wireless body area network. That means particularly used in the telemedicine applications. Telemedicine means for example, human or patient can be at one place, and the authorized persons like doctors or in the nurse, they are in one particular remote places. But through the remotely, the doctor can monitor his patient's health conditions. So that's why once the sensors detect the signals from the human body, that can be transmitted via the base station to the authorized person's server. Okay, so that's why this base station can be either Wi-Fi in the sense Wi-Fi router, Wi-Fi modem, or cellular system. Okay, so this is the basic major blocks or major parts of the W-band. So like just now I told you, this is the device and connectivity, connection, internet connectivity and protocols, and server. This is for mainly to applications, analytics and applications. Now, technological support and requirements. Technological support and requirements means to establish the wireless body area network on the human body. What are the tools? What are the various technological support is required? That means some hardware connections and sensors, proper network, protocols, and IoT, Internet of Things. IoT is plays a very, very important role in this W-band field. Why? Because it is purely wireless monitoring of the human condition. So these human conditions are to be connected to the authorized doctors persons through IoT only, and that human conditions can be stored and they can be retrieved from the data storage. That data storage can be done in the clouds. And what are the various tools and softwares, mobile applications? So these are the different technological support required to achieve the W-band. So now protocols. Already I mentioned in the first slide. So the W-band, most of the implementations of the W-band use Bluetooth. It is also the IEEE 802.15.1. But the Bluetooth versus Zigbee, suppose if we observe the Bluetooth versus Zigbee, the high energy may be consumed to the Bluetooth. High energy may be consumed to the Bluetooth. Okay, so that's why Bluetooth, because of why these tools are used, these protocols are selected because the sensors are placed on the human body. The distance from one sensor to another sensor is just like in centimeters, very small distance. So the communication is achieved for a small distance applications, wireless, that can be through wirelessly. So Bluetooth and Zigbee are most sufficient protocols. But out of that, again, we have to see the consideration of energy consumption also. So that's why the Bluetooth consumes more energy compared to Zigbee. But Zigbee is also the not best solution for the W-band because it uses the star network. When it utilizes the star network, so definitely the complexity of the W-band overall structure is become very complex. The structure became very complex. So that's why after that we go for the IEEE 802.15.6. So this is the body area network. It is the most suitable for the W-band. Why? Particularly, it offers very low power consumption and highly reliable wireless communication in the close proximity inside or outside the human body. Because the W-band may be on-body communication or in-body communication or off-body communication is also there. That we will discuss in the types of W-band. So, in keeping the view of short range communication and a low power consumption is required, and that too data rate is also required. The fast data rate is also required to receive the data from the sensors. So for all these requirements can be met by this IEEE 802.15.6. So that is the body area network. What is the data rate speed? Is 10 megabits per second. Previously for the Bluetooth and Zigbee, the data rate is in the range of only 1 megabits per second. So the comparison is almost 10 times of data transfer. So it will satisfy the requirements of the wireless body area network to monitor the healthcare conditions. These are the different protocols. Now, this is the basic architecture of the W-band wireless body area network. See, as shown in the figure, you can see various sensors are located at different positions of the human body to observe the functionality of the organs. These sensors are connected to the PDA, personal digital assistant, whether it is a laptop or tablet, already we discussed. And from there, it is connected via the base station to internet. From that internet onwards, from there onwards, it will send the condition of the human body, it will send the condition of the patient to authorized persons. That authorized persons can be either family members or hospital or nurse or whatever. So this is the use of flexible and wearable technology antennas. Okay, so this is, you can see a human body, and these are the different functions we can observe from these wearable antennas. We can observe, we can monitor ECG condition, EEG condition, blood pressure, heart rate, and motion of the sensors. Okay, so all these human conditions can be checked by means of the wireless body area network. So up to this stage is the W-band stage. Now all these sensors are connected to this PDA, and this is called as the user interaction interface. This stage is the user interaction interface, and this mobile unit or Wi-Fi, these can be connected to the either base station to internet, and through this internet it is connected to the server of the other remotely accessed people. Remotely accessed people, either a physician, already I told you, physician or a doctor or nurse, any emergency care centers. Okay, so this is the healthcare server, and these people are the remote accessed personal. Okay, so personal. See, these are the almost the same figure. So this entire layer, up to this layer, it is called as the W-band layer. and this is the connectivity layer, and this stage is called as the services layer. What are the once the patient condition become critical, so these people will give their services. Okay, so it is connected through internet. See here the protocols from one sensor to another sensor, this sensor to this sensor, it is very small space, so small distance communications. So that's why the protocol is the Zigbee protocol, and these are connected to these our mobile phones or personal digital assistants. So further, what is the communication? What is the communication technology? Mainly wireless communication technology. So nowadays the 4G we are utilizing. So for this W band, the starting from the 3G onwards. So either it can be a 3G or 4G. So now the emerging communication technology is also evolved. That is the 5G will come into the picture. See, this is another way we can see that, we can say that this is intra-band communication. Intra-band communication. That means within the body area network. This is within the body area network. These are all the sensors within the body area network. And this is interband. Interband. So that means out of this body area network. And this is beyond the body area network communications. Okay. See, in this nowadays, we, because of this COVID pandemic situation, so many wireless devices we observe. Okay, so to observe the SpO2, blood pressure, and EMG sensors. So all these are the applications. What are the different sensors we are using placed on the human body? Placed on the human body.
ഓ ഒന്നുമില്ല സൂസോ, ഏതാണ്ട് ഒരു ഓൺലൈൻ കോഴ്സിന് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്ത് വെച്ച അതിങ്ങനെ.
Somebody is talking. Please mute yourself. Somebody is talking. Okay. So now, requirement for the next generation communication. See, in order to get the data from the sensors, the antenna will collect the data from the sensors, and through that antenna it is connected to internet. So now how the antenna performance should be? How the antenna performance should be? So the antenna performance requirements are like beamforming and MIMO antenna, small size, high gain, high efficiency, polarization, broadband. So why all these requirements are required? Because of beamforming. Beamforming means in particular direction only, the antenna will radiate. That means the beam can be switchable from one direction to another direction. That is the beam forming. And MIMO antenna, that means because of this number of sensors are placed on the human body, so definitely multiple antennas are required. So multiple antennas, to operate with the multiple antennas, the MIMO technology is required. And next, the small size, because of the human these sensors are placed on the human body, the person should not feel the inconvenient. Okay, so that's why the small size antennas are very required. So the person should not feel inconvenient. So the size of the antennas should be very, very small. And high gain, definitely in order to get the better performance and in order to observe the very minute changes in the human body conditions, the high gain of the antennas are required. And similarly, high radiation efficiency also. High radiation efficiency, polarization independent, particularly polarization independent. That means polarizations already you know that subtler polarization, linear polarization. Okay, so for this W band applications, the antennas should operate with the subtler polarization is required, because in almost all directions it has to be detect the human conditions, it has to collect the data from the sensors from all directions. So that's why the subtler polarization is required, or simply at least the dual polarization. Okay, and similarly broadband, it has to be operate with a wide bandwidth. The antenna is to be operate with a wide bandwidth. Why it is required, I will tell you in the later slides. And similarly, high directivity. And last one is the planar structures for easy integration. Because of this human body is a planar structure, it has to be the wearable antennas are to be mounted on the human body. That means it has to be easily integrated with the human body. It should not be projected. It should not be projected out of the human body. It is to be clearly mounted, planarly mounted on the human body. So that's why the planar structures are most preferable for the antennas, wearable antennas used in the wireless body area networks. See, these are the different 5G networks connections. These are the different 5G networks connections. 5G networks connections. All these are the based on the different distances. See here in this figure, these are the various services. These are the various services like Bluetooth, Zigbee, ISA, wireless HART, and 802.11a. Okay, and Wi-Fi Sun. So these are the different services based on the application specific. And how many these services can be integrated to achieve the wireless connectivity between the sensors and authorized persons. So this slide shows that, see, depends on the distance, because in some places we require only near field communication, and in some applications we require far field communication. Okay, so near field communication, that means only within the range of 10 centimeters, and it is up to 5 kilometers, it is up to 100 kilometers. Okay, so within this 10 centimeters to 5 kilometers, so these services can be integrated. Similarly, from 5 kilometers to 100 kilometers of far field applications, so these services can be integrated. So the full forms of these services can be given here. So WPAN, wireless personal area network, wireless home area network. So all these are the full forms. Okay, so because of this 5G is evolving technology in the communication. So to suitable to this 5G, what are the various services and how they can be integrated to achieve this near field applications and far field applications distance wise. Okay, so you can see here clearly. And these are the various desirable characteristics. So that is energy efficient sensors and smaller size, accurate sensing. So why these desirable characteristics are required? There are many desirable characteristics. Energy efficient sensors, these must operate for longer period of time, especially when the sensors are located inside the human body. It is not desirable to operate again and again. because once the sensor is located inside the human body, we cannot replace here and there, and we cannot replace often, frequently. So that sensor is to be operated in a very efficient, energy efficient. So that is the fundamental requirement. And second one is the smaller size. The W-band sensors must be smaller size so that they may be easily attached on the human body. They can be easily attached on the human body. Similarly, next one is the accurate sensing. The W-band must ensure the accurate data delivery. Without accurate delivery, without accurate sensing, that human conditions cannot be predicted, cannot be measured. So that's why an accurate sensing is required to for a particularly in case of critical patients situations. Next one is the real-time communications and low latency. Low latency, without delay, the sensors should be able to sense the data with a low latency. It should not take the much time. It should not take the much time. So the delay cannot be affordable. Next one is the self-healing. Self-healing capability. Self-healing capability of the sensors. The W-band sensors must have the capability of self-healing. In case of any damage, they should reappear themselves. That means that is the self-healing, because we cannot serve, or that if the sensor is damaged inside the body. So that's why it should be self-healing. It is especially more important when it is located inside the human body. Similarly, the W-band sensor must be capable to operate the low data rates environment. And variability means for a continuous monitoring, variability is very important issue. These sensors must be lightweight and small in size. The size and weight of the sensors is mainly determined by the size of the battery also. To operate the sensor, some energy is required. That energy will come from the battery. That battery is located inside the sensor. But because of that battery, the size of the sensors will become more. So here, compulsory, there should be a trade-off between the battery size and whatever the energy is required to the sensor, and similarly, what is the size of the sensor also. So the battery capacity is directly proportional to size. If the size is more, the battery power is also more. Then more energy can be supplied to the longer life for the sensor. But at the same time, because of this battery, the size of the sensor is also more. But size should be very small. So that's why there should be a trade-off between the size and size of the sensor and battery size. Similarly, security, reliability, interoperability. Security it is another important issue. All the wearable medical sensors must meet the requirement of privacy, because the data integrity and authentication to avoid the unauthorized persons. The data should not be shared. The data should not be shared to the unauthorized persons. So that's why the security and privacy is very, very important. Finally, interoperability. Interoperability means because of the sensors is made up of with different manufacturers and different vendors. So different companies are manufacturing the body sensors. So these sensors of different vendors must be capable to communicate one and each other for establishing the wireless body area network on the human body. So definitely these are the must and should requirements, characteristics of the W band. See, this is the W band types. These are the W band types. Already there are three types. Mainly implanted W band. That means that sensors are located under the skin. That means inside the skin. With that, what we can measure? We can measure the blood clots, lungs, oxygen levels in the lungs, kidney status, liver functions, tumor detections, any brain cancer tumor or breast cancer tumors. So those can be detected with the sensors located in the inside the body. It is called as the implanted. Next one is the surface mounted. Surface mounted means outside the body. Outside the body, and we can measure the temperature, pulse rate, blood pressure, sugar level. These are the different applications. Next one is the wearable on body. On body, in pockets, or in the form of our wearable devices, wearable antennas became one of the, those are integrated in our textile, in our clothes itself. Okay, we can measure the movement, working condition, location where we are. So likewise, that is, these are the three types of W band. So this is the figure. So human body with this different sensors, we can see different sensors are located on the human body. In body communication, on body communication, this is the on body communication, off body links, and body to body is also okay, but this is very rarely used. But here the major three types is the on body, off body, and in body. So these are the three major types of W band. As I already told you, this is the off body, on body, and in body. So this is the one type of implanted pill cam. So once the sensor is located inside the body, what type of sensor can be located? So this is one type of a small tablet type pill cam. So what are the various parts in this pill cam? So this is the permanent magnet, electromagnetic, and white LEDs, fluorescent LEDs, inner capsule, outer capsule, image sensor, and CPU. These are the major parts of this pill cam. Okay, so here this is the inner capsule. Okay, so inner capsule and outer capsule body. Okay, image sensor. Once this pill cam is located inside the human body, so what is it has to detect the conditions of the human body. So that's why here one image sensor is located, and that can be operated with the CPU. And this permanent magnet is mainly used to move. This permanent magnet is mainly used to move this image sensor. And white LEDs and fluorescent LEDs, what are these? Purpose of this one is because this pill cam is located inside the body, definitely the environment is very dark. So to take the snaps or to take the images, certainly some flash lighting is required. So this white LEDs and fluorescent LEDs require sufficient light to take the images. So this is the technology on body parts. So here, I told you already. So in the in-body communication, on-body communication, and close to the body. Okay, so that means off body. This is on body. So what are the various applications? So in body, that means smart implants, smart pills. Okay, so dental hearing. So these are the applications of in body. And on body, these are you can see what are the various applications. Okay, these are the various applications. And close to the body, that means we can wearable it. So from head to toe of the human body. So these are the different wearable devices. Can be implanted on the human body as a part of the textiles. Okay, so like a tattoo, wristbands, jewelry, bracelet, like yeah, this is a smart ring, ankle bands, shoes, smart shoes. Okay, so this is on this suit also. This is LED clothing, e-textiles clothing. Okay, eyeglasses and helmets also. They smart helmets. So these are the from head to toy. These are the different parts. Okay. Now, sensors, what are the different sensors are used in the W band? So briefly, I will tell you. So this is the, majorly we know the sensors, accelerometer, proximity, spectrometer, gyroscope, all these are the sensors. And particularly infrared LED, infrared photodiode, all these are the natural sensors. And coming to the W band, so this is the blood pressure, electrodes, ECG, EEG, EMG. So these are the majorly used sensors for the W band technique. Similarly, humidity, pressure. So these are some humidity sensors, pressure. All these are some types of sensors. Okay, some advanced sensors also, fiber sensor, fiber optic sensor, textile sensor. So these are the various sensors used in the wireless body area network. Particularly, this is for medical applications. Okay, so these sensors are particularly for medical applications. So how can we fetching the data from the sensors? How can we fetch the data can be fetched from the sensors? So this is the chain of operation to fetch the data, to get the data from the sensors. First of all, this is the physical phenomenon, and after that, that can be detected by the sensor. It is the physical nature, and that signal can be conditioning, and after that, it will be sampled, and it is in the analog nature. It is to be converted into the digital form, and through this, it is connected to the microcontroller. It is connected to the microcontroller through proper microcontroller interface. Okay, so this is the a chain of actions, a chain of steps to be followed when we want to fetch the data from the sensors. Okay, IoT, already I told you about the IoT. So to store the data, to connect, and already these are the sensors, GPS sensor, gyroscope sensor, all these are the sensors, blood pressure, blood oxygen levels, muscle movement, body fat, body weight. Okay, and in the communications also, from one sensor to another sensor, communication is takes place. That is the wearable electronics. It should be able to communicate. It should be able to communicate with the outside world. Okay, so wireless connectivity should be achieved through proper protocols selection. Already we discussed. So this is also almost, this is a task performed by the, okay, so task performed by the variables. Okay, so task performed by the variables means, again, this is the sensor. What is the first function? First and foremost function is data acquisition. Okay, data acquisition and live monitoring and feedback, computing power. Okay, necessary measures through communication. So these are the, yes, so these are the main applications. All these parts of the this side, I told you the W band applications, 80% is in the medical field, and the remaining is in the non-medical applications. Like what are the non-medical applications? Till now we have discussed the medical applications, like to measure the temperature, blood pressure, sugar level, all these. But non-medical applications means elderly people monitoring. Okay, so at our homes there are some elderly people. So what is their status? Elderly people monitoring, kids monitoring, because of the safety. Once our kid is going to the school, where is her, where is she, what is the location? Okay, so what is her health status? So likewise, that is the kids monitoring displayed on the people care. Okay, so exercise, walking, running, psychological monitoring of soldiers in the military applications. In the military applications, we can observe the soldiers' physical fitness position also. Okay. Similarly, in the space, so astronauts' physical, psychological monitoring is also possible. Those are all comes under the non-medical applications. So these are under the medical applications. Medical applications already we discussed. So now, what is the effect of energy on body? What is the effect of energy on body? So that means how the body is affected with this W band. How the body is affected with this W band. So definitely because of these antennas are located on the human body, some radiation effects will be there. Okay, certain amount of electromagnetic energy can be absorbed by the human body. So that can be represented as a SAR. That means SAR, specific absorption rate. Specific absorption rate. So in this W band technology, so the measurement of a specific absorption rate, SAR analysis, is very, very important. First of all, what is SAR? What is SAR means? Because of this, human body is made up of with our skin, tissue, muscles, bones, flesh, water, all these. So each and every part is having different dielectric constants. Okay, so each and every part of our body having different dielectric constants. So that's why based on that, accordingly, it can absorb the radiation energy from these antennas located on the human body. So how much amount of power absorbed by the tissues? How much amount of power absorbed by the tissues? So that can be called as the SAR, specific absorption rate. So that is the, so definitely we have to maintain the proper SAR value. Definitely we have to maintain the proper SAR value according to the FCC. According to the FCC, Federal Communication Committee, it is declared that for a lossless human body conditions without much effects of this W band, the SAR should be 1.6. The SAR should be 1.6. Okay, so 1.6 watts per kg. That means 1.6 watts of energy is absorbed by the tissue. So that SAR value should not be exceeded while we are utilizing W band. That SAR value should not be exceeded. If it is exceeded, definitely we should go for the miniaturization techniques. That means SAR should be minimized. Okay. And similarly, these are the during the communication devices. Sensors are located, nodes are located. While they are operating, certain heat will be produced. That heat is also causes the hazards to the human body. Similarly, absorption of surrounding tissue because of the dangers of laptops and labs. Okay, so energy consumption should be minimized because battery can be save battery and prevent the body damage. So these are the various effects of energy on the human body. So now, what are the challenges and limitations of this W band? What are the challenges and the limitations of the W band? So that means already I told you battery versus size. Battery versus size. That means in the W band, very small sensors with a longer lifetime is highly desirable. Sensor size should be small, but its lifetime should be more. But as we reduce the size, it reduces the battery power also. Okay, so that's why already I told you a trade-off between the sensor size and the battery. It is almost always there. So that's why the designer has to take the proper care while designing, while operating with this W band. Similarly, energy versus accuracy. Energy versus accuracy. High power consumption results in more accurate reading. If we want the more accurate reading, high energy consumption is required. Okay, so on the patient's health state and vice versa. So an optimized approach is needed to balance these two important issues, these two important parameters, energy and accuracy. Energy consumption should be low, but we want accurate readings from the sensors. Similarly, line of sight, LOS. LOS, because of these sensors, has to detect the human condition. Because of the sensors has to detect the human conditions, and it has to transfer to the authorized persons. So the lossless communication should be done. A lossless communication should be done. We know that the line of sight is the lossless communication. That means there should not be an obstacles between the transmitter and the receiver. But here the sensor is located inside the human body and antenna is located outside the human body. A communication should be done between these two. Antenna has to receive the data from the sensor. So, but here a line of sight, how the line of sight is to be achieved? It cannot be achieved because the data, the information is to be passed, the information is to be passed through the skin, tissues, muscles, flesh, water. It has to pass all these stages, then only the antenna can detect the data. Okay, so that's why there are so many obstacles between them. Okay. Next, privacy, security, already I told you in the previous slides. Cost accounts and constant monitoring. In the human-centric wise, I mean customer-centric wise, already customer is always needs the health monitoring can be done, but with low cost. Customer is always seeing that, patient is always seeing that his health is to be monitored with less cost. So cost accounts is also very important. Similarly, next challenge is constant monitoring, continuous monitoring. In between, it should not be breakage. Okay, so users may require different levels of monitoring. For example, some people are at risk of heart failures. They want their W band should work constantly because they don't know when the heart stroke will come, like that. So continuous monitoring is required in those heart patients. Okay, while some people may want to function, they have a risk of suppose fall. Okay, so the level of monitoring influence the amount of energy required. Suppose if it is continuous monitoring, constant monitoring is required, then definitely energy consumption will be more. Okay, so that is these are the various limitations and challenges in front of the W band. Next, types of communications and traffic: normal traffic, emergency traffic, and on-demand traffic. So normal traffic means in this condition, the health status or health report is transferred to the authorized person in a normal. And emergency traffic means suppose when the patient is in a very critical situation. Okay, so then almost the personal digital assistant will initiate the traffic. Okay, so that means when the who is that human body, when the patient conditions are above the threshold levels, that means he became the very in critical conditions. So then automatically the personal digital assistant, these cell phones or tablets or CPUs, so these will initiate the traffic in case of high variations in the human conditions, sudden critical variations in the human condition. And on-demand traffic means this type of traffic will be initiated by the authorized personnel like Already I told you caretakers or emergency people, doctors, nurse or family members. So likewise. So finally, this is the WSN versus WBAN. WSN, that means wireless sensor networks, wireless sensor network versus the wireless body area network. Okay, so wireless sensor network WBAN is a special application branch. WBAN is a special application branch of WSN. Both have a lot of similarities. Both are having a lot of similarities with a few minor differences. First one is mobility. In WBAN, user can move with the sensor nodes. In the WBAN, user can move with the sensor nodes with the same mobility pattern. Whereas in case of WSN, it is to be stationary. Energy consumption is very less in WBAN, whereas energy consumption is more in the wireless sensor networks, WSN. The WBAN sensor devices are cheaper compared to WSN sensor nodes. Okay, except those, these are the remaining differences we can see easily here. Okay, so these are the different differences, various differences in case of range, number of nodes. In this, number of nodes are more. Because of this human body, number of nodes are fewer. Node size, it is very less. Data loss, here the data loss can be tolerable, but here the data loss cannot be tolerable. Okay, we have to require accurate readings. Okay, so here the node placement, it can be relatively easy, but here the node placement is very difficult. So likewise, you can see, you can easily observe the differences between the WSN and WBAN. So till now we have discussed I focused on wireless body area network and what are its types and designs, challenges, what are the requirements, desirable characteristics, okay, how is its structure. All these are till now we discussed. So now wearable devices, wearable technology. This is the another subtopic, wearable technologies. So in this we are going to discuss about the wearable devices and antennas. Madam, coordinator, madam. Hello, madam. Audible. Up to what time I can take?
1:15, ma'am.
Can I take up to 1:30?
Okay, ma'am.
Where is the when will be the second session?
Second session at 2 o'clock, ma'am. We'll start at 2:15 then.
2:15. Okay. Up to I want to
Yes.
take up to 1:30. Okay.
Okay.
So
Some participants.
Some participants.
Doubts. I think they shared in the chat.
Okay, we will see after completion of this. If time permits, we will discuss. Otherwise, I will share my mail ID.
Okay, ma'am.
They can contact me through mail.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so if time permits,
Okay.
because so many slides are there still.
Okay.
Wearable technology. Wearable technology, it is what is wearable and how this wearable technology is utilized in the wearable electronics field, and how the antenna is related to this wearable electronics field, how the 5G is combining the number of technologies, and why the antenna becomes a main element within this wearable electronics. What are the various applications of the wearable technology? In this way, we are going to discuss. See, this is flexible wearable electronics. Flexible. The major term is flexible. Flexible means it should be easily bent. It should be easily twisted. It should be easily molded. Okay. So because of that antenna material cannot be rigid. That antenna material should not be the rough. Okay. So it should be most flexible and can be easily mounted on the human body. Here, a lot of research priority is given for this wearable electronics. Nowadays, the most demandable research field is the wearable electronics. You can see here, previously, as per the survey, as per the data I have given here, only the revenue of 30 billion US dollars is spent for the research of wearable electronics in 2017. But within this 4 or 5 years, now it is almost 150. But as per the survey, it will be go up to 300 billion US dollars in the nearby 2028. So such a most demandable experimental growth and exponential and highly demandable more research field is the wearable electronics. So that is the thing. So what is the wearable? Wearable means anything that can be worn on the body. That is called as the wearable. So wearable electronics is it's a new term. Relatively, it's a new term which is began within the last decade itself. Almost it is started recently. Okay, in this last decade only, it became very popular and it became very important, particularly in the telemedicine applications. Okay, so wearable electronics device can be defined as one that intelligence, it is to be able to take the input process and provide the meaningful output. Okay, so already this is healthcare, particularly wearable antenna for body area networks are used as the off body on body communication. We can see, we already discussed in the previous slides what is the off body communication, what is the on body communication. Okay, and what is its applications, like healthcare monitoring, military applications. Okay, personal communication, RFID tags. So all these, and what is the protocol? What is the protocol for this W-band and the wireless this wearable antennas is IEEE 802.15.6 because of its low input power and low power consumption. Okay, so it's low power emission also. Low power emission also. Because of this low power emission, the radiation effects of the human body, the radiation effects will be less on the human body. Okay, and the radiation pattern shaping due to presence of human body. Yes, here because of presence of human body, the radiation pattern characteristics of the antenna may be differed. It may be slightly shifted from the desired radiation characteristics to obtained radiation characteristics. So that can be minimized. That can be minimized. And similarly, already in the, I told you, specific absorption rate SAR analysis. SAR analysis. Those who want to do a project or publish a paper in the area of W band, so definitely your work should focus on the SAR. Specific absorption rate is very, very important, and its analysis is very, very important. So these are the I mentioned wearable devices, wearable antennas, wearable devices. These are all the devices. These are all the devices which uses antennas to sense the human condition. Okay, so smart from already this figure previous in the slides also. So from head to toe, there are different at different body parts we are utilizing these smart devices: smart glasses, smart bracelet, smart finger, smart ring, smart belt, smart pants, smart socks, smart shoes. What are the applications of this? Why the smart shoes? Why the smart socks? Because of that, suppose if a blind person is there, if a blind person is there, generally blind person is used to carry the stick to find out any obstacles are there or not in front of him while he is crossing the road or while he is walking. Generally he used to carry the stick to find out the obstacles. Okay, but here suppose when this type of smart shoes or smart socks are there, if the wearable antenna is located inside the smart shoe, okay, then that antenna will uh, detect whether is there any obstacle detection. Okay, for the obstacle detections it can be useful, it can be useful. Okay, similarly smart watch. Nowadays so many people are utilizing, so many people are wearing the smart watch to observe their heartbeat rating, BP. Okay, so likewise so many parameters can be easily observable with a uh, uh, good access. Okay, so these are the technology. What is the technology? Wearable technology we are seeing around us. See, this is the introduction. Number of wearable devices are available in the electronics market. So this is the suppose Google glasses. Okay, so this is the Google glasses. So here we are utilizing one small antenna is placed here. One small antenna is placed here. Similarly, this is the one wristband. This is one wristband. So here it is also one small antenna is placed here. Similarly, here a polymer based RFID tag, a small polymer based RFID tag. Here, what is the polymer based? Polymer based in the sense till now the so many, I think almost all participants are related to the antennas field, and basically we used to design and fabricate the patch antennas. And for the patch antennas the substrates are Rogers or something other things substrates. But coming to this flexible, coming to this wearable and flexible antennas, so such type of substrates. Participants are requested to mute yourself. Okay. Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am. Audible. Yes.
Audible.
Okay. 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 So this is the polymer based flexible RFID tag. Why it is called as a polymer based means conventional patch antennas or conventional planar antennas are made up with the substrates of different substrates like Rogers or RTGeroid, but those type of substrates cannot be utilized for the wearable antennas. Certain selected substrate materials are only. In such cases, the polymer based PDMS material is the most suitable substrate for the wearable antennas. Okay, so this is the flexible printed. This is the flexible printed. Flexible means, you see, the person is able to easily twist it. Okay, so that antenna surface is can be easily bent. Okay, it is most flexible. It is most flexible. Okay. See, these are the some type of unique wireless, unique wearable antennas. See, this is one chip. Actually, this chip is either this chip is located on the human textile or human clothes, or it is also located on the any bag. Okay. Similarly, this is the button shaped, but on this button the antenna is located. Here, this is human shoe. This is the one shoe. Okay, so in this shoe lace, this yellow color, this completely what you can see, this yellow color, all this is the copper thread. Okay, so this yellow color thread itself acts as an antenna, shoelace antenna. Okay, similarly, this is the glasses, and here one feeding, and this is the ground plane, and this is the antenna. In this normally wearable devices, all these are the wearable. Zip is wearable, button on the textile, shoelace, and Google glasses. All these are the wearable devices, wearable devices. On that, antennas are located. Okay, so this is the a zip. Suppose if it is a zip, it is a monopole antenna. It will be act as a monopole antenna. While we are shifting this zip position from here to here or here to here, then the length of the copper strip will be changed. So that it can be act as a half wave dipole or quarter wave monopole antenna. In that way, the length it will be changed in terms of the lambda. Okay. Yes, this is the most flexible antennas. How it should be flexible antennas? So flexible, it should tolerate. It must tolerate the bending, rolling, and the flexibility repeated. Because once the customer is wearing the antenna, on the textile on his clothes, so definitely so many it may be bended, it may be rolled, or it may be twisted. Okay, but with that bending effects and rolling effects, the antenna performance should not change. Okay, so that's why the first requirement is the flexible and mechanically robust. Antenna material should be flexible, but at the same time, it should be mechanically robust to withstand with the bending, rolling, and flexing repeatedly. And lightweight, compact, conformal, extremely low profile, because it is wearable on the human body. The customer or human person should not feel inconvenient. Okay, so that's why we see why in the previous slide, why because of this button, the person cannot feel inconvenient. Because of this shoelace, the person cannot feel inconvenient. Such a small dimension the antenna should be. Okay, and reliability, efficiency, high radiation characteristics, all these are the requirements for the antenna. Now, what are the major challenges for the antennas? Wearable antennas, major challenges. This is very, very important, because in the antennas simulation process, so generally what we use it to measure, the reflection coefficient or return losses, resonant frequency. So likewise we use it to measure, and its bandwidth also we use it to measure. Okay, but here once the wearable antenna or flexible antenna, it should be because of this human, because it is located on the human body, and human body is made up of with bones, skin, tissue, muscle, flesh, water, all these. So definitely the capacitance, effective capacitance will be changed. Okay, so effective capacitance will be changed. With this effective capacitance changed, because of this different dielectric constants, the effective capacitance will be changed. With this effective capacitance changed, the impedance mismatch will be obtained. Impedance mismatch, either shifting or decreasing, impedance mismatch will be obtained. Okay, so because of this impedance mismatch, what will happen? The reflection coefficient, I mean S11 parameter return losses, S11 parameter is slightly shifted. That effect is called as the detuning effect. detuning effect of the antenna pattern. Okay, similarly, distribution of the radiation pattern. Distribution of the radiation pattern. Radiation pattern is not in the desired direction, or degradation. Degradation gain is also will be reduced because of due to this bending and crumpling. Crumpling means completely we say wrinkles. Because of repeated usage of this variable antenna, so some wrinkles came. It will not be the complete smooth surface. Okay. So next one is the electromagnetic exposure SAR analysis. Already I told you. And see here, the antenna, last point, the antenna platforms, it is to be withstand with a high temperature and pressure, humidity. Why? Because these flexible antennas are to be fabricated. Different fabrication techniques are to be employed. Different fabrication techniques can be employed, okay, to design the variable antennas. So different processes are there. In that different process, the antenna should undergo either temperature, pressure, humidity situations. So antenna material can withstand all these variations. Okay. See, these are the variable technology. Okay, so these are the wearable technology applications. See, in this within this slide, you can observe various sectors, and in that sector, what are the various applications? Okay, and to meet these applications, what are the various functions, and what are the various products we can see in the market. Okay, so just simply, what are the various sectors? In the sports sector, in the lifestyle sector, in the communication sector, in the glamour sector, in the wellness sector and medical sector, security sector, business sector. All these sectors are having the numerous applications of the wearable technology. So these are the applications for this corresponding sector. These are the applications. Okay. Because of the time constraint, I am going very fastly. So importance of design for variables, ruggedness. These are the conditions. See here, selection of appropriate antennas. Selection of appropriate antennas. This is very important. Selection of appropriate antennas means antenna mainly consisting of one conductive material and one substrate material. Okay, so here the selection of conductive material is also important. Similarly, the selection of substrate material is also very important. Okay, for example, if we choose the conductive material, okay, so because of this bending, crumpling and folding effects, that conductivity should not be discontinued. The conductivity should not be discontinued. Okay, so when the conductivity will be discontinued, there is no proper current transmission on the antenna. Okay, so that's why the selection of the conductive material, it should be withstand for the all these effects. Similarly, what is the thickness? What is the thickness and conductivity parameters of the conductive material? Similarly, substrate materials also. Substrate material. What is the substrate material? It is having dielectric constant. It is having the loss tangent. Okay, so dielectric constant and loss tangent should be very low for the better performance of the antenna. Okay, so the dielectric constant and the loss tangent should be very low for the better performance of the antenna. So that type of materials we have to be selected while we are designing this antenna. Okay, and remaining all these points we know easily. All these, again, these are the conditions. Variable material should ideally have this lightweight and chemical properties. Chemical properties, because of the substrate, should have the only polymer material. Okay, so ultra comfortable, soft to the touch, because it should not feel the inconvenient. It should not cause the inconvenience to the human body. Okay, so that material should be very soft to the touch. Okay, and it has to withstand with the sweat and chemical resistance. Okay, more robust, best skin contact. It should be visible to almost in the skin type. Yes, these are the different materials. Till now we have discussed what are the requirements. Now what are the materials used for the wearable antennas? What are the materials? A careful selection of the material. Careful selection of the material. So these are the conductive and nano material. Conductive material and nano material in this different conductive textiles. These are all the different copper material, silver material. Okay, so these are the different textile fabric materials. Different fabric materials. Okay, see here on this substrate, a silver thread, a silver fluorine rubber is located, mounted. Okay, so similarly here, see, this is one type of porous film. This is one type of porous film, and feeding is given, and this is the antenna, but this antenna is bended. Okay, so it is bended means it is flexible. Okay, and similarly this is the fabric embedded on the PDMS material. Fabric embedded in the PDMS material. Okay, so PDMS means polydimethyl surface. Okay, so this is the PDMS substrate material. See, these are the different conductive materials. These are the different conductive materials and their thickness, their conductivity values. Okay, similarly these are the substrates. So here PDMS substrate, this is the PDMS substrate, and here you can see the full form of the PDMS substrate, and these are the different dielectric materials. These are the different dielectric materials, that means a substrate. Okay, so and their dielectric constant values and loss tangent values. Okay, what we have to do, we have to select according to the application specific material. Application specific material with a low dielectric constant and a low dielectric loss tangent. And particularly see this figure. So this is the stretchable PDMS. Stretchable means in this first figure the antenna size is only this one. Okay, the antenna size is only this one, and this is the conductive material. But when it is stretched, what happens? We can see the gaps between the conductive strips. We can see the gaps between the conductive strips, but these gaps should be minimized. How can they minimized? So because of the liquid metal, when we are using the liquid metal, then it will provide the continuous conductivity on the antenna. So these are the different now this is the fabrication techniques. These are the different fabrication techniques. So substrate integrated waveguide structure. See the first figure. So this is a Minderline antenna structure, and surrounding this, these are the different wires. Substrate integrated waveguide SAW. Okay, from the patch to bottom ground plane. And stitching, embroidery, all these are the different fabrication techniques. See here, this is the textile antenna. Yes, these are the major fabrication techniques for the wearable antenna: screen printing method, chemical etching method, and inkjet printing method. Okay, so out of these, this is the screen printing is non-uniform, limited resolution, but while it is antenna is fabricated, most of the material is wasted. Okay, so after that, the better technique is, compared to screen printing, the better technique is chemical etching. Better technique is chemical etching, but what is the disadvantage here? This is a lengthy process. It is a very lengthy process, and byproducts are more. Okay, so byproducts, multi-step. Multi-step means lengthy process. In this lengthy fabrication process, so different stages it has to cross. Then only the final product will come. Okay, so because of this lengthy process, the production is very, very less. The production is very, very less, and that's why to these disadvantages are overcome by the inkjet printing fabrication technique. So presently, the most demandable fabrication technique, most usable fabrication technique is the inkjet printing. That is the high resolution, additive, clean, and roll to roll. And after this inkjet printing, nowadays the 3D printing techniques is also become popular. And 3D printing is within small time, within less time, the antennas can be fabricated. Okay, so this is the screen printing. These are all the first initially we have taken the polyester fabric and the laminations, different layers. After that, it is the dip coated, and then it is the chain of actions. Okay, so chain of different steps. Inkjet printing, miniaturization techniques. Okay, so almost all maximum I have completed. Miniaturization techniques, how can we antenna size of the antenna will be reduced? Mainly, how can the size of the antenna will be reduced? See here, this is the CSRR, complementary splitting resonator technique, and an electromagnetic band gap structure, high impedance surface. With all these SAW structure, with all these, the antenna electrical dimension will be reduced. Electrical dimension, that means with all these diagonal slots, see, these are the slotted diagonal slots, the current distribution, the current path will be increased. Because of this CSRR or EBG, the current path will be increased. So then the increased current path will reduce the lambda. So then the size of the antenna will be reduced. Electrical size of the antenna will be reduced. These are the single polarized and dual polarized different techniques, and what are the drawbacks. Okay, this is the truncated corner slots, truncated patch. Okay, effects of human body and variable antennas. Already I told you, because of this human body made up of with different tissues, and then the permittivity of the human tissues varies the operating frequency. That is called as the detuning. Okay. Effects of bending, mainly the bending effects on the human body. So bending effects on the human body, that is shifting in resonant frequency, and effects of antenna polarization. When the antenna is bended, the resonant frequency will be shifted. See here in this figure, you can see easily, but that shifting is very minute shifting. Okay, antenna polarization is also changing. Now these side effects, so how can these side effects will be reduced? These side effects will be reduced with these techniques. Again, with these techniques. So suppose if we are considering the wideband operation, even though the resonant frequency slightly shifted, but the antenna still operated with the wideband, so then it can be easily no that much of effect. Okay, like this. Madam, shall I stop here? Still polymer based, already I told you PDMS. These are the different substrate materials particularly used for the wearables. Okay. Still, I want to explain actually textile antennas also, but if time permits, some other time. Okay.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for wonderful session.
Thank you so much,
I
ma'am.
think participants gain some knowledge about the RF energy harvesting antennas for W-band.
Yes, yes. CN. Okay.
Madam, can you turn on your video once?
Yes, yes, yes. I will
Take the
stop the.
screenshots.
How to stop the sharing? Page sharing.
Sharing
Sharing is
is okay,
required.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Take the screenshot. Okay. Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I stop?
Thank you, madam. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Participants will meet
Sorry for the
at
participants. Sorry for the participants. Really sorry. I cannot
actually
spare the
inauguration
time
is
for.
late now. That's why
Yes.
it happened. Problem.
I cannot spend
Any
the time
doubts
for
from the
the.
participants? I'll share the madam's email ID.
Yes.
If you have any doubts, you can
Please
directly
mail me.
contact madam, Dr. E.
Mail me.
Kusuma, Professor and Head, Sri Vasavi Engineering College, EC Department. I'll share the details. Okay, ma'am. I think they don't have any doubts. Actually, two participants asked some doubts. There in the chat box, ma'am.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
is the low data rate is desirable mentioned in slide 14?
Yes. In the wireless sensor networks, definitely we go for the high data rates. But here, each sensor is used for particular application only. So that's why the low data rate is useful for the flexible antennas. Okay, and I want to tell one more thing. Ultra wideband UWB, ultra wideband antennas are also most suitable for this flexible antennas. And coming to the feeding technique, the CPW, coplanar waveguide structure. Coplanar waveguide structure is most suitable feeding technique for the flexible antennas.
Okay, ma'am. One more.
Yeah. Hello.
Sir.
Yeah. May I ask a question?
Sir, sure, sir.
So, madam, actually, in the SIW substrate integrated waveguide, that best flexible antenna, what kind of material is used?
Substrate integrated waveguide, sir.
Yeah. In a substrate integrated waveguide is a technique in which we have to manufacture, fabricate the antenna. But what
Yes,
are
yes.
the substrate we are using for that?
See here, the substrate materials, I will share the screen. Screen is sharing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
See, sir, the ceramic, polymer, and PDMS, zircon, these are the most suitable for the, these are the most suitable substrates for the flexible antennas.
Okay. But whether this SIW technique will be feasible there
Yes.
or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is feasible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. May I have the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is possible to design the multi-layer variable antenna?
Multi-layer.
Yeah.
Multi-layer means stacked. Stacked, sir.
Yeah.
Stacked conductive material.
Yes.
Yes, already I shown in one of the slide in the screen printing fabrication method. So the different layers are multi-layer. Different layers are laminated one over the other.
That is what is the maximum layers we will design? There is any final level with there as a 4, 5, or 6?
Maximum count that I don't know exactly.
Okay. Suppose if you increase the layers, there is any effect or there is any disadvantages there?
Size will become complex, no?
Yeah.
Size will become complex because see here in case of textile, suppose I am showing in this slide, in case of textile, okay, the copper layer is attached on the textile.
Yeah.
Here in the textile antennas, the jean material, cotton jean material is acts as a substrate. On that the copper layer conductive material is mounted on the this one jean material. Okay, so if we increase the thickness of the copper or conductive material, so definitely it will be some inconvenient to the human. It should be completely the person should not feel inconvenient.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, madam.
One more question from the participant, ma'am. Is there any particular frequency range for design point?
Yes. I will show frequency range also. Here. There is a mixed band and ISM band and UWB band. So mixed band means medical implantable communication systems. That's band range is 433 megahertz. I mean 402 to 433 megahertz. And ISM band is industrial, scientific, and medical. So that ISM band, I will show that slide. Otherwise, you can clearly understand. Yes, this is the. I already told you this ultra wideband applications. Okay, so ultra wideband UWB is most suitable for this flexible antennas. These are the low power because of these advantages. Particularly because of these advantages, the UWB band is used. See, this is the frequency ranges. So mixed band frequency 402 to 405 megahertz and ISM band industrial, scientific, and medical. So this is the 433 megahertz, 915 megahertz, 2.45 gigahertz, and 5.8 gigahertz. So now, in which frequency band we have to design this variable antenna means for this mixed band of frequency, this frequency range is completely licensed version throughout the world. Throughout the world, it is completely licensed version. In any country, we can utilize this. Okay, but nowadays we are go for ISM band. So 433 megahertz, but this 433 megahertz is licensed version frequency. It is licensed in the European countries. Okay, suppose if we want to work on this W band by using this 433, or if we want to publish any patent, so definitely the conflict of interest will arise and you have to be applied for the license. And similarly 915 megahertz also, 915 megahertz also. But after that, the 2.45 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz are again the licensed versions of the frequencies which are suitable for the variable antennas. And we know that this 2.45 gigahertz is most suitable for our cellular mobile communication. Okay, so 5.8 is also suitable, but out of these 2.45 and 5.8, why we prefer why all these W band is operate within this 2.45 gigahertz is because of this some small frequency, I mean because of this less frequency compared to 5.8, the radiation will be less. To reduce the radiation effects, even though the 5.8 is also can be utilized throughout the country, but because of the in keeping the radiation effects, we are using only 2.45 gigahertz. These are the various frequency ranges. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
One more. Can you please suggest some applications for continue these ideas in PhD point of view?
Yes, in the PhD point of view, in case of SAR analysis, it is the one of the main application. In so many research papers are, I will show you some of the slides. SAR analysis is definitely one of the important topic. It can become one of the important topic. And see here. Body area networks, these are the antennas. Okay, so this is the antenna. Effects of bending, mainly effects of bending, already I told you, once the antenna is bended, the resonant frequency is shifting. How this analysis is also very important. Bending effects. See here, effect of antenna in S11, so reflection coefficient or return loss. Okay, so return loss. So this is the detuning effect. This is called as the detuning effect. So here we are considering 4 cases. Only we have taken a single antenna. After that, the single antenna is placed on the human body. Okay, and here the entire human body we are considering, entire 6 feet. Otherwise, in some applications, only part of the human body we are considering. Here the box is a radiation box is applied to only some small part of the human body. Okay, in this way, voxel model also, in this way we can do the analysis. What is the antenna performance in different situations? So this may be one topic. Okay, and another one is I will tell you. This is another one is multiple antennas. Multiple antennas. That means on this human body, number of antennas are located. One is on right hand, one is on left hand, one is on this heart, near heart, okay, on the chest, and one is on this top also. Here here you can see on the top also one antenna is located. So once these multiple antennas are located around the human body, then what are the effects? That is also we can observe.
Good afternoon,
Hello.
ma'am.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, madam. I have a doubt. You have told modeling you with the human body. So how do we get the model of human body? For example, when we are simulating in ANSYS HFSS or something. So how do we get the human body?
Human phantom models are available, madam, in the simulation tools like HFSS and CST. If you are taking the latest versions, the human phantom models are available.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. And one more thing, ma'am. 2.4 gigahertz. It is used in other devices also. So will it not interfere with the wearable antenna we are using?
Yes. For that also, I have one slide. Interference, coupling. Mainly, I will show you one slide. Yes, see here. Because of this MIMO, already I told you multiple antennas are used. Okay, so multiple antennas are used. So definitely between one antenna to another antenna, the coupling effects are there. Okay, so this mutual coupling effects are to be reduced. These are to be reduced. Okay, so those can be reduced by using these are the splitting resonator techniques. So reduction of mutual coupling is essential in the performance of the multiple input and multiple output, because if we are not reducing this coupling effect, then how it affects the current distribution and phase and input impedance, radiation pattern. Because of the radiation pattern is slightly shifted and reduces the capacity of the MIMO system also. So to overcome these disadvantages or to overcome these effects, definitely this mutual coupling effects should be reduced by using the SRR techniques. Hello.
Hello, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, madam.
You all the
Thank you.
participants.
Thank you, madam. You over?
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Participants,
Thank you.
session 2 will start at 2:30 p.m.
2:30. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, all of you.